Thank you, Mr. Nishio, for that wonderful prayer. Oh, sorry, I forgot my clicker. I'll be right back. But yes, good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see you. I hope you had a wonderful week, and welcome back to be able to worship our Heavenly Parent and also just come together as brothers and sisters. I also just wanted to acknowledge, actually, David earlier said that for any new guests, we have gift bags for you. Actually, we will have gift bags for you next week. We are in process of trying to, yeah, have this gift bag so that we can, really welcome anybody and everyone from, because we never know anyone can come through our doors just to be guided to meet our heavenly parents and true parents. But I do want to highlight two people who are very near and dear to my heart. They are my parents-in-law, my wife Seina's parents. They actually came Thursday, so there's 3 days ago. They're seated over there in the back. お父さんお母さん立ってください. And so yeah, they come from Niigata, Japan. Thank you. And yeah, they're here because they love me. No, actually, they're really here because they love their granddaughter. And Hojun's birthday is coming up this Saturday, her first 1 year birthday. And so they came last Thursday and will be here for 3 weeks until May 7th. So this is their first Sunday, but then you'll get to see them twice more Sundays. And so yeah, they don't speak English, but please say hi to them. They understand hello. And of course, for those who can speak Japanese, please talk to them in Japanese. They're great people. So I'd like to, yeah, just start off by, going through our weekly sharing of. Sorry, it was off. Okay. So that's working. So yeah, today or this past week, I was able to have three visitation, starting with the Takenaka family in their beautiful home. It was interesting because they prepared an incredible, just delicious food. The salad was more like Western style, and then I was eating it with Italian dressing from Olive Garden brand. And then next we had like this big pot of miso soup that was like so fresh vegetables, everything just put together, and it's like Asian. It's like my mouth was dancing with the different kind of cuisines. And also it was the first visitation where Francois, the host, played piano and performed for my family. And it was really beautiful. And it just kind of reminded me because I used to play piano too. Yeah, don't ask me to play now. No, 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 no. No good, no good. But yeah, I know Auntie Francois was saying like she's a little shy and doesn't want to play in the big crowd. But hopefully, maybe an idea came to mind was like we can have like an open mic as a community, and we can just showcase all kind of talents, and hopefully Auntie Francois will be willing to perform. Maybe even after this message, she might come to me and be like, "I'm never gonna tell you my secrets." But it was a wonderful time we had together. And then yesterday morning, I met with Tim. We went to an Indian buffet known as Tiki Masala. It's in Upper Arlington, but yeah, it was really delicious. We really stuffed ourselves. As you can see, we actually were so hungry and focused on food first that when I took the photo, like the food was already gone. Like we finished. That's why you only see our faces and not the table, because there's nothing to show there. But yeah, it was a really wonderful time being able to connect with Tim. And as you know, he's been really investing himself in the Chunshimon vigils as well as youth ministry. Just a few weeks ago, he drove the youth ministry group like 6 hours one way and back to Chicago so that they can have a good time there, just kind of outside of their usual environment. So this is a brother who really cares about his younger brothers and sisters. And finally, last night, my family met the Michaels couple at Bob Evans. So this was the first time we, instead of going to a house, we went to a restaurant with the host couple. And yeah, it was just first time for us to be able to go to Bob Evans and just classic American like comfort food, really delicious. But also being able to hear their stories and just their life that they shared and grew up, and just Uncle Richard is such a funny guy. I mean, I know he cracks jokes and humors to you guys sometimes, but like you should listen to his story when he visited Japan. That long 6 hour walk. Yeah. I'll leave that to you guys to discover. But yeah, it was just really wonderful time being able to meet with our brothers and sisters. And of course, this coming week, I hope to connect with more of you. Um, and so today, message, I was thinking about what should I put the title as, or what kind of topic should I speak on? And this came up, the big first steps. So, I have this image of a baby, and when a baby takes their first step, it's a huge deal, right? All the parents, well, when you had phones, you whip out your phones and you start taking a video or picture and like, oh my gosh, they're about to walk. I mean, my wife and I, we're still waiting on the day that our daughter takes her first steps. She's already starting to like trying to climb and catch herself and standing on two legs, but she hasn't been able to do that stably yet. But yeah, the title, what I mean by this is that any first step is big. Not that you need to make the first step a big thing, but we should make every first step a big deal because it's so important. It is monumental. And I want to just bring attention to the fact that this past Sunday, or a week ago, we launched the Moving Towards Higher Ground devotion as a community. And I want to showcase to you the first steps that took place. Um, so, yeah, the whole premise of the Moving Towards Higher Ground devotion is those who were able to gather with me last Sunday and here in the chapel after Sunday service. I paired every person, individuals, with another person, so that we, like how I've been doing my visitations, everybody is able to also visit one another, and whether it be sharing a meal or just at least 1 hour to be able to have that time together. So these are just some of the photos. Oh, and also one of the requirements is to take a photo and send it to Yoko-san. I know half of you, or photoed here, half of you sent it to me, but please send it to Yoko-san because then there's a risk that I will forget that I received it from you throughout the week. So yeah, we had the pair of Dr. Mickler and Mr. Nishio, but it looks like Reiko-san was also present, and they had a sushi party. Now, I don't want to put the pressure, but every time you are paired with Dr. Mickler or Reiko-san, don't expect sushi, unless they really want to offer that to you. But yeah, Mr. Nishio was lucky. Oh, Mr. Nishio. Oh, he brought the sushi. Oh. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So yeah, anyone who's paired up with Mr. Nishio, don't expect the sushi. But yeah, it's just really wonderful time through food. Masako-san and Uncle Richard met here at the church. Asako-san and Yuta-san met, and also Uncle Gary and Tomoko-san met, and also we had some other pairs. David and Keiko-san met. Sumiko-san and Uncle Bob met. Uncle PG and Yoko-san met, and Aunt Stella and Aunt Susan met. I know there were some more gatherings that happened, but maybe it just didn't come in time, or you forgot to maybe take the photo or sent it accidentally. I know Sunder and Reiko-san also met. He gave me the photo, but for some reason my photo wouldn't download it, so I couldn't get it ready in time. Apologize for that. But also, I know 4 of our members are in Las Vegas right now. They're attending a 3-day Japanese spiritual workshop. Well, Tomoko-san's one of them, but she was able to meet Uncle Gary. But the other three, they with their pair has committed that they will meet this week. So they'll be meeting double the time this week. And every week over the 3 weeks, there's a different pairing. And so I hope everyone's enjoying them. The photos look like you're enjoying it. And, this is our effort as a community to be able to really bridge the heart amongst each other. And so that we can, as a community, go towards a higher ground of being able to really live that dream of one family under God, starting here in Ohio Family Church. Of course, everybody has your own individual responsibility or own way of being able to elevate yourself as son or daughter of God. But I'm pastoring the community, and so I was thinking, how can I take the community to a higher ground? And so this cannot really happen without each and every one of you. So I really appreciate your effort and also your commitment in being able to follow through with this activities. So I look forward to more photos next week, and we'll be posting them up here. And let's give ourselves a hand, because this is the first step of moving towards higher ground devotion that we are setting as brothers and sisters. And so, speaking about steps, I also wanted to talk a little bit about where are we at in terms of our global movement or just the world. Actually, this idea was inspired by Uncle Richard Michaels just last night when I was meeting him. He brought a topic, or he talked about, or just brought up mentioned about Moses and the Israelites. So as you know, in the story of Moses, he was chosen by God, called by God, to lead the Israelites out of slavery from Egypt into the promised land of Canaan. And for those of us who are well versed in the divine principle, the exposition of the divine principle actually explains that when the Israelites were able to unite, and even if they don't fully understand the vision, but if they were able to put their own selfish desires or egos aside and united with the person, the central figure in whom God had brought them, which was Moses, then originally they were supposed to go through a course of 21 days in the wilderness to enter the land of Canaan, which was the promised land that God had given to the Israelites. 21 days does sound long. However, in comparison to the actual 40 years that they had to experience, I think anybody would like to choose 21 days over 40 years. And so then the question is like, well, what happened? Why was it originally 21 days, but then it ended up 40 years? It's simply because due to the lack of faith of the Israelites uniting with Moses, that they were going through a course, or had to fulfill a condition of indemnity. They had to indemnify their unfaithlessness. They had to restore and bring back what was wrong back to right. And during the time, or part of like what happened in that faithlessness, many of the Israelites were murmuring to one another, talking behind Moses' back, saying, "Oh my gosh, like this is like maybe day 3, day 4. Maybe the first few days were like, okay, like we're not slaves anymore. We're free people, and we're just going to the land of Canaan." But then maybe by a week or so, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so tired. My legs are tired. Like we can't even shower." I don't know if they had showers back when they were slaves too, but probably not. But still, like it's out in the desert wilderness. The sun is hot. It's beaming. Like I have to carry my load, all this things that I have to carry. Like I have my family. My baby was just born a few months ago. He's crying. Like, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the easy, and it was a difficult circumstance. But they would start commenting things like, "I wish we went back to Egypt. At least we had shelter there. I wished we were slaves again, because at least there was some system and governance there." And of course, I hope nobody had the experience of being a slave in in this room, but like because we understand and how humanity has advanced now, like slavery is terrible, and it is not an experience you want to relive or even relive. But those people at that time, because of the circumstances and because of just their faithlessness and not being able to unite with Moses, who was their leader at that time, they were saying such things like that of wanting to go back. Maybe some of us might think or may have said it ourselves, like, oh, those good old days. And of course, I'm sure those old days were great because maybe you were younger and you had more energy and you had a lot of things that you were able to accomplish on a quicker in within a short amount of time. But if you think about it objectively, like humanity is advancing every single minute, every single day, and you want to think back and reflect to yourself like, well, I mean, yes, there's a lot of problems now, but it's not like those problems were not apparent in the past as well. There were probably more problems or different, but that was much more on a greater scale problems than it is today. I mean, just some of the things that in our society, like incredible feats that we're able to do is just this past week, the Artemis 2, I think it was named, like the moon launch or the launching of four astronauts who went around the moon and came back, in which they are the only four people in human existence who has ever gone that far beyond from the Earth's atmosphere and come back safely. And then they brought us back like some new photographs of the space and the moon and all that stuff. And that's incredible technological advancement. And they don't just take it for their own credit. It's like really an incredible advancement of all of humanity and science and how we were able to advance. But of course, we also need to be able to consider like our spiritual advancement as well. How far can we go? How many steps can we take before we start complaining? But hopefully, we don't get caught in that trap of complaining. And actually, unlike the Israelites, we, all of us, not just us here in Ohio Family Church, but all 8 billion people of the world have so much to be grateful for, have so much to be able to recognize just the time that we are living in thanks to our true parents. Our true mother. Our true mother undoubtedly is united with our true father in the spirit world. And our true mother, after father passed, she had to lead this global movement all by herself, physically. And of course, as great as true mother is and how great she is connected to true father in spirit, like we are physical beings. It's nice to be able to have someone to give and take with, to talk with, especially those who had visitations this past week. It's so nice to be able to talk to someone and meet them one on one. I think it would have been much more of a different experience if I gave you your pairs and I asked you guys to imagine that you're talking to that person. And then you're just like, well, I don't even know what this person thinks. Like, how do they talk? Like, how do they, in what ways do they think? Like, no, it's really awesome to have someone that you can physically relate to and have give and take with. However, our true mother, since our father's passing, had continued to lead our movement, continued to be aligned with our heavenly parent, and leading us, this humanity, forward. And these are just some of the examples that I like to show that came to my mind. And of course, all of you already know this, but I just wanted to just bring up. These are some of Mother's victories. Open Chonoguk. Do you guys remember Foundation Day? January 13, 2013? I was 17 years old. In New Jersey, we gathered in, I think it was a Marriott hotel, in the Grand Ballroom. So many brothers and sisters. Those who I didn't even see for many years were there. My friends, my peers. I was dressed up in a suit, and I was like, "All right, Dad, Mom, what is Foundation Day?" I know I hear my church leader, my pastor, is saying that Father's been talking about leading up to this point, but what exactly is it? I don't know. Just be quiet. Just pay attention to the ceremony. And there was also in the lobby there was like a photo shoot that you can take as a family, and like, congratulations, happy Foundation Day, and all the children are just like smiling, but it's like, we don't know what's going on. Like, what is Foundation Day? But mother knew very clearly that this was the age in which we are entering, in opening this era of Chanoguk, or the kingdom of heaven on earth. Mother also uh, gave us commission to become heavenly tribal messiahs. Like, just look at that name. You are heavenly, and you're a messiah for tribe. Like, dang. I that's nice. I'm a messiah. Like, the messiah is the word that the people, the entire humanity has been waiting for Jesus to come for the past 4,000 biblical years. And then, since Jesus was sent to the cross, people and the Christianity has been waiting for the second coming. But actually, it's not just Christianity. All major religions have some form or some figure that they're waiting for, which the divine principle kind of collects and alludes that that figure is the second coming of Christ. And so the people have been waiting for eons for this messianic figure. But then now our true parents, the messiahs, have also commissioned us to become messiahs for our tribe. So this is just like the status in which we have inherited, that we have been able to receive from our true parents. Special grace. The first time I've heard of this special grace and being able to partake in it was, I believe, 2016. And it has happened multiple times throughout the year from 2016 to now, so a decade. But every single time Mother offers special grace, she always offers some form of condition before, so that the world can receive this special grace holy wine. And the point or the purpose of the special grace is for all of us who receives this special grace holy wine to be forgiven of our sins or past mistakes. And so if you were able to receive the special grace holy wine last year, then anything that happened before that moment, your sins are forgiven. You are forgiven. All the past pains, the blemishes, the mistakes that you've made, just forgiven, gone, disappeared, because our true mother paid the price. And of course, maybe there's still some of us might be struggling internally in being able to forgive ourselves on those past mistakes, but please know that you are forgiven. And this is our heavenly parent and true mother's love. And true mother gifted us the Chunshimwon. And so, yeah, place to pray, place to meditate. For some people, place to sleep. But get rid of the headache. And of course, there's many other testimonies about people sleeping in Korea, Chunshimwon. But this is a really sacred place. It's what makes Chunshimwon stand out as opposed to just any other prayer room or place that you can pray, is the devotion that our true parents have laid to establish the Chunshimwon prayer hall. The messiahs, our true parents, have directly invested into this prayer room so that we can be able to connect directly into the heart of our heavenly parent. Which is why it's not just the prayers that are being offered in the Chunshimwon, but also any desires and wishes that you have by writing down the Hyojong offering papers. This wish that you offer up to heaven that gets directly received by Heavenly Parent angels, and the absolute good spirits, the spirit world. And so this is an incredible gift that our true parents have gifted us. And then last but not least, open Cheonwongun, the Channel Sanctum, the palace for our heavenly parent. You know, in Moses' time, when the Israelites were finally, after 40 years, able to enter the land of Canaan, they were supposed to build a temple for God, for Heavenly Parent. But unfortunately, they too, over time, have lost their faith, became faithless, and more indemnity had to be paid. But one of the first things they had to do was open this temple for our Heavenly Parent. And our true mother has done that. Of course, with our worldwide brothers and sisters in the foundation, and people coming together to be able to build it together. But this is what our true parents have made the offering just last year. And of course, last week was, or on the 13th, Monday, was the 1 year anniversary of the opening of the Cheonwongun. So, brothers and sisters, we are living in Ohio, and all of this is available worldwide. We are not living in the wilderness anymore. We have a community. We have a loving family. Things are not perfect, but we have all the tools, all the blessings from our true parents to be able to work on those things that may not be perfect. And I also just wanted to read our Holy Mother Han, True Mother's words. This was her proclamation at the time of the opening of the Cheonwongun. Heavenly, this is more of like a prayer too. Heavenly Parent, the creator and master of the universe, today we have finally reached this unique day. After you patiently endured and waited for 6,000 years due to the fall, Heavenly Parent, we thank you. We offer our profound gratitude and our humble apologies. Now you are truly the rightful master of this earth. Our second, third, and fourth generation, the pure water, born of many blessed families who exist because of true parents, are going out to the world to impart the vision of your earthly kingdom across the land. From this day forward, Heavenly Parent, please embrace and love your children with all your heart. This world will now gradually be set in order under your dominion, and a world of one family of humankind attending the Heavenly Parent with true love will surely unfold. In the name of Holy Mother Han, I proclaim to the world that the gates of heaven, the gates of God's kingdom of Cheonwoguk, are now wide open. Oh, thank you. Yes, let's give her a hand. As I was reading this, actually, more ideas just came to my mind as inspiration. It's like, oh, I should underline this, I should underline this. But for what I prepared for you today was just that those two words, your dominion, our Heavenly Parents' dominion. So there was the list that I showed of what our true parents were able to bring us and gift to us. But in this proclamation, Mother makes it very clear that the world is under Heavenly Parents' dominion now. Yes, there are wars. Yes, there's still a lot of unjust and really unpleasant things happening in the world. But the world is under Heavenly Parents' dominion, in which it's slowly turning into a space or place where all of that will soon to disappear. What Heavenly Parent needs is now us to stand up, us to take that next step, us to not be afraid in being able to share about who you are as God's son and daughter. And I feel like this is what President Dunkley has been also sharing week after week. And if you were able to tune into his message this past Sunday in Atlanta, his message has been evolving over time. First, it was just about identity, and then first it was just about like, remember who you are, like that slogan. And then he went deeper into, okay, it's not just belief, but there's also faith, and then there's identity. And then he evolved into faith without identity is fragile. So you need that identity. And he's been picking at that point. And then just this past Sunday, he also introduced, like, okay, well, in that identity, you need to grow into that identity as a son or daughter of God, just like Jesus did, as well as just as our true parents did. Because that's the principle in which our Heavenly Parent created this world, the growth stages, growing period that needs to happen. And so we are also in that growing period ourselves. I mean, after on April 14th, so Cheonwon-gun was open April 13 last year, and then I was in Korea. I was at the service. I wasn't at the Cheonwon-gun, but I watched it on screen. And then the next day, April 14th, I asked myself, okay, God, you're here, according to True Mother, but I still don't feel you. Like, I wish it was some kind of miraculous thing that would just be like, and like our hearts would open and be like, whoa, God is here. I feel it. I do feel it during our music, though. It's really great. But yeah, it's not something that just miraculously happened because God is here, but I have to grow into that person so that where I can invite God into me and experience Him. And this past week, I tried to practice what President Dunkley has shared. Like, spend time thinking that you are a son or daughter of God. And just at a wild, random time, I was taking out the trash, and then all of a sudden, the thought came to me like, "Oh, yes, like I'm a son of God." I'm like, okay, I'm a son of God, and I'm just like pushing the cart and taking out the trash, and then I was like, okay, so how does a son of God take out the trash? And I didn't do anything really different. I just walked, went out to my curb, put it down. My actions didn't change, but my thoughts changed a bit. It went from, okay, so I'm a son of God, so I am grateful that somebody comes and picks up the trash for me. All I have to do is just put it out on the street. And then I'm also grateful that as a house, we don't have too much trash because this cart is not that heavy. These are just some of the thoughts that came to my mind, just really random thoughts, but it always started with gratitude. Like, as a son of God, I think that's what it means to me uniquely as a son of God, is to be grateful. For some of us, I would imagine it might be different. It might be more exciting. It might be more artistic. It might be more just logical, or just something that you share with your relationship with Heavenly Parent. But for me, it started with gratitude. And then, of course, that only lasted like, what, 2 or 3 minutes? And then I went with my day, and my train of thought went to somewhere else. And then another time this past week where I thought about, like, oh, I'm a son of God, was when I was driving. And I was like, our family, we like to play praise and worship songs in our car. And so maybe that was also just the influence to make me think about, oh, I'm a son of God. And I was like, okay, like, I'm driving, and then, like, okay, let's be a safe driver so that I don't cause any problems, or I'm not a bother or risk to anyone else driving. And, like, of course, like, that should be obvious. Like, be a good driver so that you don't cause nuisances or you don't cause any accidents. But as a son of God, I was thinking, like, yeah, I'm proud. I am a good driver. I'm pretty good. And also, I'm grateful that I can be in this car ride because it's very peaceful. We have this nice music playing. I checked my rear back seat mirror, and I see my daughter sleeping, and so she looks very peaceful. And I'm like, thanks, God. Like, that's really nice. And again, like, once my wife started talking to me, like, that thoughts went away, and now we're just having a conversation. But even in that slight moment, like, just being able to, I guess, practice thinking that I am a son of God, it has brought gratitude and just, like, peace within me. And all the things that I listed in which our true parents have gifted us were all things that we are meant to experience peace as we are able to do so. And of course, with Heavenly Tribal Messiahs, it takes a lot of courage, be able to go out, and conviction, being able to go out, sharing the blessing and the holy wine to brothers and sisters. But at the end of it all, if you think about it objectively, you are the catalyst in which Heavenly Parent can expand his or her family, his lineage through the blessing. You are bringing incredible joy and love to our Heavenly Parent because of your sacrificial act. And just being able to recognize that and know that this is the power in which our Heavenly Parent has gifted me in being able to do, then yeah, that's, I think, in it a piece in it of itself. It should be pride that we as children have this. And so, yeah, what started, I wanted to bring our attention to is like this past week was the first week of the community devotion, and so this is our first step. This coming week will be the next step, and the third week will be the third step. But just because we're in this devotional period doesn't mean that our steps can stop there. We all have our individual paths to go forward, have paths to go, and then I'm just talking about a community level. And for those who are not part of the community devotion, because you missed last week, like, don't worry. You being here is a step. Just the fact that we're able to gather together and be able to fellowship and be able to experience and take some message from what I said and put it into practice for this week is a step in the right direction. But of course, it's all dependent on you. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the message I wanted to deliver today, that we all have a path to go forward, and that whatever step it may take, whether it be the first step or the 100th step or the 1,000th, millionth step, it's important that we can celebrate it and that we acknowledge it. Because it's not about comparing one another, but it's about your personal journey with our Heavenly Parent. So with that, I'd like to leave you with this discussion. What is something you can take a first step towards or continue moving forward in this week? What is something that you can take the first step towards? Maybe you've been thinking about like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, but I don't know if I have the time for it, I don't know if I really want to do it. Well, now's your chance, opportunity to take ownership of your life and take that first step. Or maybe you're already on a path of growing or path of something and you like to continue. Please share with the person next to you what is that is and what step you can take. All right, let's discuss for 5 minutes and we'll have a group sharing afterwards. Thank you. Please switch if you haven't already. Switch speaker if you have not already. All right, everybody, please start wrapping up your conversations. And we'd like to move towards group sharing so that some volunteers who would be excited about your first steps or your next steps into whatever you want to focus on in your life. We can have some volunteers. Anyone like to share first? All right, let's welcome up David.
Good morning, everyone. So I have two things that I would like to take a first step or continue moving forward in. The first one is health and fitness. I don't know why, but my knees are starting to hurt. I think I'm getting old. 26 is a tough age, everyone, just to let you know. But I've also been playing volleyball. That's probably why. And I twisted my ankle last summer, so I have my legs are kind of weak. So, anyways, I think my first step towards my health and fitness, I want to be able to kind of create a consistent schedule in going to the gym or working out. Hopefully, I can stand up to my word, but creating a schedule will help me. But also, another thing is working with the young adult community. I am the young adult coordinator for this church, and I am wanting to kind of change up some stuff, and I've been kind of reflecting about it, thinking about it. So I think the first step or continue moving forward in this region is kind of be able to learn how to create a very successful like leadership development growth kind of style of uh, of this group of young adults, so that they can thrive in their careers or passions or faith. And yeah, I think the first step is trying to really kind of create a good structure with that. So I'm still thinking about it, still reflecting about it, but these are the first two steps that I will be doing this next life. Thank you.
Thank you, David, and good luck on your endeavors. And yeah, would anyone else like to share? Okay, Reverend Reese, please come up.
Hello, everyone. Since we have had the Chungcheon one, I've been going there every night in prayer. And I know from my past experiences that there's power in prayer. Power to change, power to make yourself a better person. So I know that I'm on the right track and that everything that I've done or is doing is because of the grace of God. And because of that, that's why I'm coming to prayer at night. I will never give it up because that power, there's power there. I don't want to start preaching, but there's power.
Thank you, Reverend Reese. And there was power in your sharing. All right, and yes, Miss Natalia. Let's welcome her up, and she'll be the final person to share.
Good morning, everybody. One thing I want to share, I'm reading this book, Tears of Jesus. I want to share with, I'm thinking to read it with my daughter. She is 10. I understand that she is completely lost when it comes to the path of Jesus because she's saying, she told me, your Christianity is doing human sacrifices. Like, I'm thinking, she completely missing the point. And I remember when I was young in Ukraine, I could not look at Jesus on the cross. It was, I was just resenting this. I was just angry. I was thinking, why did they have to kill him? And then when I met our church, it kind of explained it and very nicely, yeah. So I'm thinking, and I seen her, a lot of my own past I'm seeing in her, that she's kind of going the same way. She's kind of like, why did they kill him? She cannot accept it. So this is one thing. Another thing, I'm going to Ukraine Action Summit. You see I'm dressed up, and from here I'm going to airport, where we're going to meet with the congressmen and senators, and I have first generation a couple who are hosting, and they're also volunteering at the event. Yeah, very nice couple. I'm grateful to them. This is my continuous effort. Yeah, maybe I'll show this book to somebody. I like it.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Natalia. Yeah, so supporting Ukraine as well as being able to support or help her daughter in her path in understanding Jesus through the book. And so, yeah, thank you everybody for sharing and making that commitment. And of course, you know, change is not easy. Of course, I laid out all the facts of like what true parents have gifted us, but still, even with all the environmental support, all the spiritual support we got, like changing is not easy. So please, don't be so hard on yourself. Have grace, and do your best with Heavenly Parent. And if you need an accountability, actually, that's really one of the greatest ways to make a change. If you need accountability, then just look to your left, right, front, or behind. You have brothers and sisters all around you who's willing to support you. So with that, our final, or my challenge for this week is take that first step or next step about that's something you discussed with your partner. And yeah, really challenge yourself in committing, and so that we can see a change within your own life as well within this community. Thank you, everyone. Remember that Heavenly Parent loves you, true parents love you, Jesus loves you, and I love you. Thank you.